here, get that started. Okay. So hello everyone and welcome. This is Aurora with Supercharged Math, and today we are going to dive into the world of percents, continue our conversation from just the previous weeks. If you missed a week, don't worry, you're in the right place. This is the handout for today. If you don't have the handout, no problem. You'll just use mine during class. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of a review, and then we'll dive into the main concepts for today. So what do you say we just get started? Okay, so the first thing we always do is a review, and actually you don't need your handout for the review. Okay, so just grab a sheet of paper, and I'm going to give you a couple of numbers that actually, you know what? I made a mistake. We are going to use this for the review. Okay, so just zoom in here. Okay, you can use mine. Each one of these blocks is 100, and there are 10 rows of 10 here to make 100, so it's a 10 by 10. So what I want you to do is fill in the percent for 316% for the top. Can you do that for me? If you don't have the handout, you can just make a similar model on your own page, just so you know what it looks like. I would like to know how much is 316% just in this top row. Can you tell me? 316%. Okay, and I'm going to grab some paper here. You're stuck already. Okay, so if I color in an entire one of these, a whole 10 by 10 grid, that is 100%. Okay, if I color in a second one, 100 plus 100 is, shout it out, 200. That is 200%. You kind of get it now? Okay, good. So what would you do for 316%? That's right, you would do one more. Very good. Got some kids telling me in the chat what to do. Perfect. So this is 100, 200, 300, right? So 100, 100, 100. There's 3 100s, that's 300. 16. So I'm going to do one row of 10 plus 6 more. Okay. So this is 16. So if I add 100, 100, 100, I get 300. And here's the 16%. Okay, you get it now? You're warmed up? Great. Let's do the next one. The next one I'd like you to do for a warm-up, do 175%. Can you show me what 175% looks like? Okay, don't take all day about this. Now, if you don't have the handout, just make yourself a little makeshift handout. Good. Somebody said it's got to be 1 and something else. Good. So here's the 100. But we can't do the second one because 200% would be too much. So instead, there's the 100. We took care of that. Now we need 75% of the next one. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and then 5. Okay, so we have 7 full complete rows. And then on the 8th row, we don't fill it in completely because it's 75. So this is your 75%. Good. All right. 95%. Ready, set, go. 95%. Okay, what would you say for 95%? Yeah, so would we color in the whole thing, yes or no? No, almost. What do I not color in? Yeah, so 100 minus 95 is 5. So you're going to color in the whole thing except for, oh, did I do that wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I did it right. Except for those 5 don't get colored. Okay, so it's 95%, is not 100% yet, so we don't even have a full one done. Okay, how are we doing good so far? Okay, awesome. Good, so that was a quick review. Let's dive into the main part here. So we have a table that we're going to work on, so I'm just going to show you this much. The first number I'm going to give you is 100%. So if I have 40 marbles and I give you 100% of the marbles, how many do you get? Yeah, 40. So write it there. Okay. All right. If we have 40 marbles and you get 50% and I get 50%, how many actual marbles do we each get? okay? And we're going to put that number here. So you get some, I get some. We each get 50%. This is known as a half. So a half of 40 is, good, 20. Okay, good. Now, so if this is the whole, a half is that much. Do you remember how much a quarter is? 25%? Yeah. So this is the whole. This is a half. A quarter is a half of a half, right? So there's two ways to do this. If I wanted 25% of something, I can take the 40 and divide by 4. Or I can say, you know what, I know what half is. That's 20. And then I can take half of that. Half of 20 is 10, which is also the same as 40 divided by 4 is 10. Give me a smile so I know I didn't lose anybody. Good? Okay, good, good, good. All right, let's go the other way now. 10%, that's the same as dividing by 10. So if I have 40 marbles and I divide 40 by 10, show me, what do I get? I get 4. Yeah, I give you 10%, you get 4. And then you say, hey! All right, now this is, 1% is when we divide a number by 100. So 10% is divide the number by 10. 1% is divide by 100 because percent is based on 100. All right, so this is where you get out your decimals. So where's my paper? Okay. So if I have the number 40, I use my decimal here. So if I'm dividing by 100, it's going to go 2 hops this way. So the decimal point now is going to be here. That's 0.4. Okay, so we're just taking the 40 and we're dividing by 100. So that's 0.4 for that last one. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, now let's practice some more. So that's the main idea. I'm going to give you a number, and it'll be in different positions, and we're going to figure out the rest just based on that. So if I give you a number like this one, 30, and I say 30 is 25%, how much is 50%? If I say a quarter of the pie is 30, how much is half of the pie? Okay, so you have to think about, okay, so this is a quarter. If this means 30, then two of the quarters mean, yeah, exactly, 60. So you're going to multiply by 2 to get here, because this is a half. Because originally it was a quarter, but now I want to talk about half. So the size, because of the size of the increments are the same. Okay, a quarter and a quarter is good. If half is 60, then how much is a whole? If half of something is 60, 2 halves make a whole. That's going to be 60 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Add the 0. I have 120. Okay. All right, so now I have the whole, and now I can do these. It's really hard to do 1% from 25%. I mean, you can do it, and you'll be good at it soon. But just to mentally do this, it can be a little more challenging. So get the whole first. And then, can you divide this number by 10? And tell me what 10% is? If 120 is, oops, I'm sorry. If 120 is 100%, 10% is when we take 120 and divide it by 10. Okay, so that's going to be 12. Okay, and now take 120 and divide it by 100. What do you get? 120 divided by 100. Okay, so you're going to take that 120, the decimal point, and there are 2 zeros, so we go 1, 2, and we hop it there. 1.2. How are we doing so far? Give me the look on your face. How are you feeling? Okay? Okay. I would like you to try this for this one now. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Can you tell me what the rest of the columns are if it's 1200? And if that one doesn't feel good and you want to try this one, try this one. If I tell you 1% is 5, okay? So 1200 is this whole row. The 1% is 5 is this whole row, okay? You can do either one, whichever one you'd like. Okay, I'll give you a good 40 seconds. Okay, you can do both if you want, sure. Okay, just do one. Just do one. But if you feel like you'd like to do another, that's fine. Okay, 12 more seconds. And then I'll start talking. Okay, so let's do the 1200 first. So if 1200 is half, we can double that to get the whole. That would be 12 twice is 24, and then put the 2 zeros. If we divide this by half, we get 600, and that's a quarter. Okay, so what we were saying basically is this is 1200. So this is another 1200, so then that's twice. But if we divide the 1200 in half, then that would be a quarter, and that would be the 600. Okay, and then from 2400, we take off 1 0, and that's 10% because we divide by 10, so 240. And we take off the second 0, 24 is 1%. Good, okay, good. 5, now what if we go the other way? So to get from 1 to 10, we have, how do we get the number 1 to look like 10? 1 times something equals 10. Yeah, 10, right? So we're going to multiply this number by 10. 5 times 10 is 50. Good. Okay, and then we're going to multiply the 10 by another 10 to get 100. 10 times something equals 100. That's another 10. So 50 times 10 is 500. Good. Half of 500 is 50%, so that's 250. Okay, and if you didn't know what half of 250 was, you can just take 250 divided by 2, and 25 divided by 2 is 12.5, and there's a 0, so that becomes 125. Okay, so this is 125. And you can use your calculator because you've graduated from decimals. Good. Okay, 15 is here. 88 is here. Pick one to do. Ready, set, go. And we're going to see if you're faster or if I'm faster. I'm going to do both in the time it takes you to do one row. Okay, and I'm going to give you a 30-second head start. Okay, I'm going to do mine off screen. So you write down the 50 and the 15 and the 88 so you know where it is. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to do mine off screen. Ready? Okay, here I go. You can use a calculator if you want. Okay, and then when you're done, tell me that you've done one row so I know you're done. All right, you done with both? That's great. All right, ready? Here we go. You want to check your answers against mine? When you're ready, you can look at the screen. Yay! I'm seeing somebody cheer. Excellent. All right, what questions do you have? What questions do you have? So we're going to shift gears after this and do something totally different. Okay? Feeling good? Yay! Okay, great job, great job. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so I want you to take a sip of water because we're going to